First, the first notion we must address is the concept of telepresence. Well, what is telepresence? From the early 1950s, researchers and computer engineers, they use robots. They were using robots, for example, to control from a distance, to have a robot go in the mine, for example, to look at something, or go on the moon, or go on Mars, not in the 50s, but that's the concept of having a robot with a camera. And these people in the 50s had the impression after a while that they felt as if they were there where the robot is. They forgot that they were in a lab controlling the remote robot, but felt like they're in that place, in the mine, on the moon, or wherever it is. So researchers in telerobotics, remote robots, have insisted on the importance of feeling of being there. And being there is usually put in italics when we talk about presence and telepresence, just a notion that you're there, you're not necessarily here where you physically are, you feel like you are in that remote places. And Sheridan in 1989 defined the concept of telepresence, and it essentially relates to forgetting that we are far away from the place we're seeing the action, and we are in the action. That relates to psychotherapy, where in psychotherapy, after a while, well, let's take the example of psychotherapy in the office, where when you're in the office with a client, you're just there. It's obvious that you're physically there. It's no point. It's implicit when we do in vivo, when we're live situation. But sometimes you get distracted and you feel less present. Well, in telepsychotherapy or psychotherapy delivered in video conference, the client and the psychotherapist are on two different locations. And after a while, you forget that you're not together, but you're just together in therapy, wherever it is. And that's the notion of telepresence. It's feeling that we are together in therapy, wherever this is happening. So you're not in your office and you look at the lights outside in the car and whatever, or you're just in therapy. So the concept of telepresence is really on a continuum where in vivo live situation where you're physically with your patient in your office, obviously that barely applies. The concept of presence in general also applies when you wake up after a dream and you're not sure whether you were flying or not, or whether this thing were really occurring, but obviously you notice that it's a dream and it kind of disappear. Sometimes also when you're watching movies, you get caught in the action and you forget that you're in a movie theater or in your living room, but you're just in the action. That's the concept of presence. It's key in virtual reality, which is my other main research area. We won't go into virtual reality today, but it's the notion that you forget where you are and you are in that place where the action is occurring.